I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Welcome in, kiddos. It is the Daily Puck Drop, Wednesday, May 5th. We welcome you in. If you're watching on YouTube and Twitter, thank you. Also, you can listen to the show on the Puck Sports mobile app. Download the Puck Sports mobile app to your smartphone today. On the Android phone, just go to Google Play. iPhone, just go to the App Store and just search Puck Sports Mobile. Of course, everything up later on the old podcast platforms, up on YouTube, just search Puck Sports. When you're there, like the show. Give it a like. What's not to like about it? Leave a comment. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Also, we are available on all the old podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. All right, here we are. Daily Puck Drop in the Puck Sports Studios, built by Limback Lumber. Contractors, they offer free deliveries. I don't know what else you want. Free deliveries, everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects. Largest stock moldings in the Northwest. Old school service. They've been doing it since 1930. Give them a call, 206-782-3487. Visit limbacklumber.com. I'm told they might be looking for a new manager as the Limback Lumber Little League season spinning out of control. You can follow the show on all the social media platforms as well. Twitter and Instagram and Blue Sky Puck Sports. Puck_sports there on TikTok. And, of course, find it up on Facebook there as well. Also, pucksports.com. You can go there, sign up to be a Pucks Posse member. It gets you everything that we do here free. You're supporting our free content in addition to the bonus content we do as well, like our weekly appearance with Ryan Divish that's coming out today. In fact, is up there. The full show is up there right now. If you go to pucksports.com and go to the Pucks Posse membership page, $5 a month is all it costs. You can sign up, get a yearly discount. We will play an edited version for you today, give you a little snippet of it coming up later in the program. In addition to that, the Sports Pit, brand new podcast, comes out on Mondays with my good buddies, KJR alums, Steve Sandmeyer and Matt Stretch Johnson. But you know the drill. Monday, Wednesdays, sometimes Fridays, maybe sometimes a Wednesday. It doesn't matter. You know what? We take this next guest as often as he'd like to be on. Ladies and gentlemen, from Bend, Oregon, it is the one and only Jim Moore, who is brought to you by.
Yeah, I got to talk to you about Friday, Puck.
Another Friday off, huh? This Brian
I
Turner's getting his money's worth.
I thought I was going to be driving up to Seattle on Thursday, and there's a change in plans with the family, and so we're probably going to be coming up Friday morning. And I know how much you enjoy those side of the road broadcasts that I do, because they're, very special, going in and out all the time and never working very well. So I was going to talk to you about that. But anyway, I'm brought to you by, when I'm here, I'm brought to you by A Clean Streak, professional window and exterior cleaning service, proudly serving Island and Skagit counties for more than 10 years. Brian Turner and his capable crew, they're going to clean your roof, unclog your gutters, pressure wash your driveway or patio. They'll even wash your windows too. It's been a record-setting April on the heels of a record-setting March for A Clean Streak. And you know what that tells you? It tells you they do a great job and they have return business. They get word of mouth. So check them out. For a free estimate, call 360-395-5748 or visit acleanstreak.com. And remember, through the end of May, I will give you $50 if you hire Brian Turner and his crew at A Clean Streak to do a job for you.
What a deal. What a deal. This man is the guy that's the gift that keeps on giving. Is one Jim Moore along with Brian Turner.
I'm out of the $9,000 though. I've already gone through the $9,000.
Well,
it's already gone. It's already gone. And a guy's coming at 11 o'clock to give me an estimate on the putting green.
Well, I mean, how are you going to pay for that? I mean, I know Brian's spending some money, but he ain't spending that much money.
No, I know he's not. And I'm just going to see what the estimate is. And I don't know. You told me it's going to be a lot higher than what I think it's going to be.
Give me a little bit more than, I mean, I don't know how big you're making it.
It's not a big area.
Okay.
I mean, I'm guessing it'd be like $2,000 to $3,000. It's like, it's stupid
$2,000 to $3,000?
Yeah. Is it going to be more than that?
How big is the area? What size is it?
Oh, it's probably a 20-yard strip by 6 feet wide. maybe 30 yards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to look at. I think it'll be a little bit more than that. But hey, maybe get a discount. Tell them who you are. Drop your name. And, you? I've been listening.
Nobody's going to give a shit who I am or what I've done. I mean, my career's in the rearview mirror, except for, I'm just kind of hanging on by the edge here with you.
How do you know? You don't know. Maybe the guy's a longtime viewer and listener. You never know. Drop your name. Start, a little small talk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Does that seem like me? Does that seem like something I would do? Well, yeah, I guess it would. There's probably some people going, yes, for free Mariner tickets all the time. And you ask for free. In fact, I got to ask Tim heavily. I'm going to Saturday's game against the Blue Jays. And I don't want to pay $40 a ticket. That's the cheapest ticket that I could find right now. And I'm hoping maybe Tim Heavley could not only get me free seats, but maybe, the ones behind home plate where all the families sit of the Mariner players.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to offer up 4 of the prime seats behind home plate, especially in a series against the Blue Jays when it's probably going to be hard to have people in the stadium.
Yeah. Well, he might, but you don't know until you ask, right?
You don't know until you ask. There you go. So if you're going to ask for free tickets, then just ask what kind of discount can I get for the putting green? I mean, it doesn't hurt. Start name dropping yourself. It was a big deal. In Seattle sports.
If I said to this guy, like, hey man, I'm the go-to guy, and he's gonna look at me. He's like, well, who the hell are you, man? The go-to guy of what?
Hey, can you please do that and just say that? Drop that I'm the go-to guy. Jim Moore, and have Kathy or somebody else recording this as you're dropping. I'm the go-to guy. You know who I am?
I just always feel like such a dumbass whenever I have to give out my email. Like someone will say, can we get your email from you, sir, so that we can send you the receipt or the information or whatever? And then I've got to go through, well, it's a long one. It's Jim Moore, the go-to guy at yahoo.com. And then I have to go THEGO numeral 2 GUY. And then, people are probably like going, God, who the hell is this guy thinking he's the go-to guy?
Yeah, what a narcissist this guy is.
Yeah. And I want to tell him, it was an old managing editor that just gave me that nickname. I didn't really like it, but somehow it stuck.
Sure.
You get stuck with a nickname and, what the hell? You just go with it. So,
yeah, I it's good. I like it. I think you should drop it.
You do with the putting green guy?
Yeah. Just see what happens. Maybe he's from Seattle. Maybe you recognize
you just want to hear how it goes, and it's going to go poorly.
I don't know if it's going to go poorly.
Nobody knows. Nobody in Bend, Oregon, has any idea of like that illustrious career that I had in Seattle. And it's all honest to God, Puck, it's all rear view mirror, man. I'm mostly, largely irrelevant these days.
I think you should.
As if I ever was. Have you ever considered yourself relevant?
No.
I never have, hey man, I'm trying to stay relevant and build my brand. I've never thought of that stuff.
Just doing what I like to do. And you know what? I'll do it as long as I can squeeze out some dollars. And when the dollars dry up, I'll go find a real job.
You're like me though, when it comes to like that. When someone says I'm trying to build my brand, like, fuck you. I mean, come on.
That's going to be the title of the show.
Yeah, you had one guy that used to be on the show, and he was trying to build his brand. Well, you got rid of him. I'm glad you did that.
Stop.
Brand building.
I don't need to get into that. Content creator.
Yeah.
That's my other one, is content creator. I love that one.
Well, that's the thing too. This Substack thing that I'm doing.
How's that going for you?
Well, I've had several people make pledges, but I don't want to accept money when I don't know if I consistently provide the content that would warrant getting money from someone.
Why don't you I think it'd be good for you to kind of keep it. Why don't you dedicate once a week or twice a week to write something?
Yeah, I could do that. But I feel like it should be more than once or twice a week if someone's giving me $8 a month.
Why don't you just start with that? Just start with like, hey, do what everybody else does. The Monday mailbag. Do the Monday. Everybody does the mailbag.
No, but I read Canzano's every week.
So do I. I love the mailbag, and I'm kind of making fun of it, but I love it. Why don't you do like a Monday mailbag? Ask the go-to guy anything you want, and this. So you start doing this, people in Ben may start recognizing. Hey, that's the go-to guy. I read him on Substack.
I don't think so.
And then on Thursday, maybe it's a Monday Thursday, and then you just Jim Moore's musings.
Like, are there people that really give a shit about what I have to say?
Yeah, I think so.
I remember Wyman one time during a show literally said, Jim, no one cares what you think about anything. And I remember looking at him going, well, Dave, I think part of the reason that I'm on this 3 to 6 show with you is that maybe someone out there does. God, we went to break and I looked at him. I'm going, what the fuck, man? I mean, like, yeah, I don't even give a shit what I have to say, but maybe there's somebody out there who does, and then for you to say that on the air. Yeah. I think he swung at my ankles a few times, and I wasn't going to swing back because everybody knows that Wyman would kick my ass.
Yeah. So. Whatever happened to him? He's still around.
He's still hanging on with Stelton doing that boring ass show in the afternoon. They got rid of the older guy with white hair who was kind of the humor to the show.
It's gone downhill. Gone downhill since then is what it has. What we should do on one of these shows? We need to get a reunion. I'm gonna, maybe next week we'll work on some. I'm gonna work on a special guest. Let's get Calabro on.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. You know what? I love what you're doing with Sam Meyer and Stretch. I haven't caught all of the shows, but those guys are entertaining. They're knowledgeable. They're funny. And I worked with Steve there was one summer where I worked with him and I enjoyed working with him, and I was hoping that it would be a permanent thing. And I'm not sure why they didn't hire him to continue, but no, I always thought he was great. And so I'm glad that he's back. And then Stretch is just naturally hilarious.
Just a funny guy. They're just funny dudes that just don't take themselves too seriously. Not at all. So, and they just talk about sports. They're easy people to just chat with, and good buddies. So, all right. Hey, the Cal Raleigh, look at the rundown. We got a Cal Raleigh clutch. We got Julio. We got to get into that. JP appreciation. We got to talk about that. Ryan Divish will join the show coming up a little bit later when we say goodbye to you, where Jim, probably in about 5 minutes or so, will abruptly say, I have to go.
Well, yeah, the guy's coming at 11 o'clock. I don't know when you. I don't know how long you want me today.
I don't know. I want you as long as you want me.
Well, no Rob Staten today.
No, we're giving Rob it's vacation time for Rob. Holiday.
Oh God.
I like Rob, but listen, we've done so much football and Rob needs to reconnect with his family.
Okay. All right, fair enough. God, that guy, what a great guest. I mean, you were the first one to get him too.
No, I think he'd been on maybe regular guest, but he'd been on a bunch of shows for a while. So.
Yeah.
So if no Rob for a little while, but Rob will be back with us, when we start ramping Seahawks stuff back up, in late July or whenever that gets going, right? For a training camp. But that's probably about the time that I'm going to take off about a month.
Or you can take some more time off.
I deserve it. I deserve to take some time off.
You're not going to take a month. Well, KJR, you had what in your contract? 5 weeks off, or is it 6?
5.
Yeah.
5. Yeah, that was a good one. I think I should adhere to that policy in the summer. I think everybody should just take a summer holiday and bounce out. Here's the thing. Just talking about the Mariners last night. That's a poor transition. Are you like me that every time that guy steps up to the plate in a situation like he stepped up last night, you just go, guarantee he's going to get a hit? It's going to happen. Guaranteed.
Yeah, pretty much because that's what he does. He always seems to deliver, doesn't he? In the biggest moments, and that's when you need him to come through. And I just, how can you not love everybody loves what he's doing production wise behind the plate. We know about the Platinum Glove and best catcher in baseball, arguably if you want, but we all know, we see enough of Cal Raleigh to think that he's the best catcher in baseball. But the other thing that I really like about him is just the aw shucks, I did my job. That was cool. I don't know. I like how he says, I don't know a lot, because I do too. that interview last night with Brad was just, I don't want to make too
very humble.
Yeah,
He's just extremely humble. This is why we were begging, many of us, were begging for this organization to get him locked up, because that's the type of guy you don't let leave. You cannot let him leave because of not only what he brings to the plate, but it's just what you just said right there. He just embodies everything that you want in a star player and leader. Everything.
Well, you want your kid to be like him.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a switch hitter on top of everything else. Come on.
I just knew the second when Julio he got hit, right? Was that what happened? Or did he walk?
He walked. A Rosarena got hit.
Rosarena got hit. I just knew the second he came up, I'm like, there's just no doubt in my mind he's going to come through. He's going to make, and especially against that team, which of course he had his biggest hit ever was to send them in the playoffs. And I was talking to Divish about it, and I don't know if you're going to hear it in the edited version when I play it later, but you go back to the night before, if you can recall the first game, and he had one of the best at-bats of the night. In fact, I think it was the best at-bat. Now,
the one that he struck out on, though, right?
One he ended up striking out against Mason Miller. But he gets down quickly, 0-2, and he just fouls off a pitch, spits on two of them. It was a great at-bat that he tired Mason Miller out. And even though he struck out, I'm sitting there watching the game of the Vampire and was like, he didn't hit it, but that is a great at-bat, a great, great, great AB, because he never, ever gave in. And Angie talked about it last night. I thought it was a really good point on her part, that when he gets in those situations, he slows everything down. And it never seems like the moment is too big for him. Some players, I don't know if you coach that, Jim. I don't know. Do you practice that? I don't think so. I think that's just something that's inherent in Cal Raleigh.
No, some guys are more clutch than others, clearly. And we're waiting for Julio to be that guy. And Julio's not seen as being clutch as yet. But I think he still has it in him.
I think that's interesting. Let me jump in. I think that's an interesting debate when it comes to him, because I think people will jump because I could pull up his clutch stat numbers on like Baseball Reference. So they say, no, that's not true. It's not true. He is actually clutch. But I though tend to agree with you, because my mind tells me that he hasn't come through with those big hits in a situation like that Cal has. That's what at least my eyes tell me. And you and I are in agreement on that one for sure.
Yeah, and it's not a criticism of Julio. He's still a young player, and I still think he's going to get there. But, Cal is already clearly there. And, that's a really clutch situation, obviously, when you're down a run in the ninth inning and you're just down to it. And you talk about Mason Miller. I sit there and I watch that guy and I'm going, Jesus Christ, how can you even get a bat on the ball, even if you foul it off when it's 102 coming at you? It's amazing. And so, just Cal Raleigh, it's just that interview. I just keep going back to that too. And you can tell he and Brad have a good relationship. And it's always fun when Cal's out there after the game. And, of course, he's the star of the game when he has an at-bat like that. And, it was fun to see. I was watching the game with Mikey. He was over visiting this friend of his in Boise, and then he came to Bend last night, got here in time for the game. And after the bottom of the eighth inning, he's already a typical Mariner fan at 21 years of age. He just turned 21. He's like, got lost. We're done. Down 2. And then I'm kind of going, and then I thought, well, no. There's still one more at bat for the Mariners in the top of the ninth. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, Miller's going to come in. Yeah, you're probably right, Mikey. And then the old history of watching the Mariners forever. Yeah, they're probably going to lose. But then, God, that was an unusual game last night, wasn't it? When neither closer was available for either team.
Yeah, they run that Ferguson guy out there for like the 19th straight day. God, guy's arm's going to fall off on the mound. And then Vargas was good. Vargas was good. Yeah.
I know this is where the game was played, so I guess it's not off topic, but I love that park. I want to go to a game at that park. And I know people are looking at it like going, Jesus Christ, look at the A's where they're playing, like West Sacramento, and talking about it like it's just some trash park. And I know it's not that great, but don't you want to go to a game there? 14,000 people there. There can't be a bad seat. It looks like a spring training game. They got that grassy area out there along the right field foul line.
Did you listen to Brad talk about where Cal had to go to warm up?
No, where was it?
He has to walk out to center field because that's where the batting cages are. So I want to say it was like fifth inning, maybe, that he walked out there. Maybe it was later, but where he started going out there to take hits. But he had to walk through like the A's, warming up in the outfield. They're outfielders. He's got to walk all the way out there to go get his hacks in at the cage. I mean, it's just
and then
I can't believe Major League Baseball is playing in a AAA park. It is fucking amazingly stupid.
No, I like it though.
You like it?
How do you feel if you're a fan there in Sacramento? They won't even call you the Sacramento A's.
They won't even acknowledge that they don't even acknowledge you. They don't care.
How about this? Okay, so you could make this case now before the season and be like, Jim, you're full of shit. You can make a case that we might be watching a World Series game from that park.
Yeah.
They're only 2 games back.
Well, you could certainly make the argument you could see a playoff game there, that you could be talking about a team that wins the American League West. That's at least hosting the ALCS in a 14,000-seat AAA ballpark where game time temperature, it's 3:00 is 115 in Sacramento.
Oh, God. Sacramento, yeah. You've been through there in July or August?
I have not, but I just know
it's triple digits every day.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. Yeah, that would be something. How about this world? How about the world of let's say, just hypothetically speaking, the A's and Rays play in the ALCS. They're both playing in AAA. Well, one's a AAA park and the other one's a spring training park. God, that would be. I kind of want it to happen to just embarrass Rob Manfred in baseball. Like, what are you doing? Like, why?
Well, and then aren't they playing in Sacramento for 3 years?
3 years.
It'd be one thing if it was a year or half a season, but for 3 years, yeah, we got to get to a game down there, Puck.
Might be kind of entertaining. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It feels kind of loosey goosey.
Yeah. No, it looks like it's a hell of a lot of fun. Those people on the grass area, they're having a great time out there.
Yeah, a lot of Mariner fans, by the way.
Yeah. It's probably a cheap flight on Alaska going to Sacramento, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if there's just people that live down there or just made that a road trip. I bet you there's a lot of people that kind of thought like you, like this might be kind of fun to see them play in this ballpark. We're going to take a trip down there because, God, the first 2 games have been, you can hear it. You can hear the Let's Go Mariners.
Sacramento's what, 8-10 hours from Seattle? 10
something
maybe?
like nice little you and I. That's a nice easy drive.
Yeah, not bad.
Give me 8 hours in a car. I'll make that work. Easy peasy.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love getting in the car, like driving from Pullman to Bend the other night. It was just, I like that alone time. Perfect.
Yeah. Got some seeds in you.
Yep.
Favorite seeds are?
David's, the jumbo ones, jalapeno.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not too hot for you.
Or the sweet and salty ones. I like those too.
Have you ever tried the dill pickle?
I have.
And
I like dill pickles, but I was lukewarm on the seed version of them.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. But the David's jumbo ones, like I can't stand it when the seeds they seem kind of stale once you get to them. Yeah. And I haven't figured out how to eat pumpkin seeds yet, whether you chew the whole thing or whether you try and
you eat the whole thing.
Inside. Yeah. What do you do?
The pumpkin seeds, you eat them.
You eat the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not as good as the seed inside, though. I mean, it's still kind of too crunchy.
It's
like we know not to eat that. We know not to eat the shell of the sunflower seeds, but the pumpkin
I know some people that do.
They eat the whole sunflower seed?
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh.
Very, very weird.
Yeah. I'm out.
Takes away the whole ritual of opening it up and spitting them out. That's what I like. That's the whole thing I like about it.
Yeah, it kind of bums me out though. I've got some kidney issues I need to deal with, and they don't want your salt intake to be up. And so now I got to eliminate sunflower seeds,
Damn it.
red meat. God, no, last time I talked to my kidney doctor just a couple of weeks ago, I don't want to get into a bunch of health issues, but she said to try and limit drinking to 3 or 4 drinks a week. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, take advice. We need you here, bud. We need you.
Yeah. No, I'm going to take her advice.
3 or 4 drinks a week.
Yeah. I'm down to 2 or 3 after one last night.
Can you have like you got to keep something like a in the kitchen where you're just like, you're checking off the drinks and the days. Can't reach the limit. Can't do it. Or like a shock collar around your neck.
Yeah, and then I got to admit, when I was pouring my drink last night, it was a bourbon on the rocks. I was kind of going, God, is this 2 or is this 1, depending on how much I'm pouring in here?
See, I think that's how you get away with it. You pour a real heavy one because in your mind you're telling yourself that's just 1. Yeah, that's just 1. But real in reality, it's like 4.
Yeah,
and then just keep adding some ice into it as it melts, and add some ice, and there you go.
Yeah. I just don't want to wake up in 2035. If I live that long, I don't want to wake up and be on a dialysis machine. Dialysis? Yeah. And think like, God, why was I such a dumbass back in 2020?
Yeah, take care of yourself. Get rid of the seeds, cut back on the red meat, cut back on the cocktails. Enjoy a glass of water at the bar. You'll be fine. No one's going to judge you
right now.
No one's going to judge you at all. It was good to see. Polanco back swinging from the right side against the left-hander. That's good. That was another positive news on the
finally. Were you okay with seeing him at second base?
I mean,
you want him to do. I'm with you on that, though. He should be the full-time DH.
Well, that's kind of what he's been. But yeah, they've got so many injuries right now. But I think he'll be fine there. That's where he should be.
Yeah.
Just keep him there.
Well, some people can't handle that DH role. They're so used to playing in the field, but he looks like he's adapted to it really well.
He's been great. He's been great at it. So it's good to see him back there. I just didn't like. I mean, there's no whether he did it on his own or they called it. I would probably venture to say he did it on his own, but we don't need to see him bunt. It's just no bunting.
No,
I'd like bunting, but not for him.
No. Yeah, your hottest hitter, swing away, man.
Yeah, swinging away. Do you feel now? This feels like hopefully we're waiting for it. You mentioned it earlier. Hopefully that this is the game that turns around Julio. And I mean turn around. I mean, it sounds like he's had a terrible season, like a terrible start or anything. But you are waiting for him to really click and get going. And boy, he's. I tell you what, last 15 games for Julio. Here's the slash line: 274, 348, 468, 816. So
okay, yeah.
Turn around.
What's 700 the average considered average for OPS? And if he's up over 800, no, he's 3 hits last night. He walked during that crucial rally. So I mean, all signs are pointing up for him, aren't they?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing every year, and hopefully next year will be different, of course. But I mean, Julio looked good last night.
Well, that's a hell of a shot though, to hit that to deep center field. That was a poke that he put out there. And I think there are signs. I mean, I talked about this with Duquette on Tuesday that, the 2 signs that he has looked at that is, at least for him, that are positive are his walk rate and that he's cutting down on his strikeouts. So for him, now there's another stat that he threw out there, but one thing that kind of counters all that is his chase rate, right? He's still chasing pitches and all that kind of stuff. But he did say that he's looked at those 2 stats in particular to him and that he's improved those areas, raised his walk rate, lessened his strikeouts, and he thinks that's something that will help him because it just lets him work deeper into counts, see more pitches, and eventually come up with more hits. And so he had a good night last night, and hopefully that carries over. I think the big thing for him is that maybe this year, because everybody else is playing better around him offensively. I mean, Gary Hill, I'll give you these numbers in a bit, but Gary Hill had this just incredible numbers on this team. It's just stupid what they're doing the last month. Maybe he doesn't feel what is good for him is not feeling all the pressure in the world to try and carry the team.
Well, yeah, it's got to be a nice feeling for him when he's seeing a bunch of guys up and down that lineup contributing. And so he doesn't feel like the weight of the world's on him when all these offensive struggles are happening with the team. So, yeah, I think that's probably a contributing factor that I thought it was pretty astute of you to bring that up.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Hey, the breaking news, we'll get back to baseball, but the breaking news show record is back. The Cougs have landed a quarterback. I've never heard of him. A Johnny Shepard from Rutgers.
From Rutgers?
From Rutgers, the hotbed of football talent. Rutgers.
How'd we get him? Did no one else want him, or?
Apparently nobody else wanted him, and he defaulted to go to us.
Okay.
All right, let's go. A Johnny Shepard.
That's some breaking news right there.
That is some breaking news. Well, we are the breaking news show of record, and I just wanted to.
Do you think we're going to be any good this year?
Do I think?
I can't. I have no idea if we're going to be good, bad, or in between this year.
Well, I did see, what is that website I follow? West Coast Football. What are they called? Anyways, they had their predictions. They had us go into the Sun Bowl.
Okay. So 7-5.
Yeah. You know what? For a guy in his first year, if you get him, and I don't really want to go to the Sun Bowl, and I will not be attending, but if they go to the Sun Bowl, well, it's a decent, they had a decent year, or an okay year, I should say.
Are you going to Ole Miss?
I plan on it, yes. You know what? I've always wanted to go there. If I don't go there this year, then what am I doing? So, yeah, I will go. I haven't booked it yet, but I will go. What about you? You want to go?
Well, I agree with you. And I told Kathy the other night, last night, I told her, I go, look, the kids are seniors at Washington State this next year. Number one trip, we got to go to Ole Miss. Number two trip, and I know you've talked about this too, we got to go to Maui.
I know.
And she goes, oh, it's too expensive to go to Maui. And I go, yeah, I know that, but we haven't been to Hawaii in a long time. The Cougs are playing in the Maui Classic. I want to go to that high school gym and see my team playing there. And we're retired. And if we have to dip into our retirement account or whatever, we've got to do it. I mean, shit, you get in your late 60s, you might die tomorrow, Like, what the fuck, man? No, really, seriously. I mean, we're going to go to Ole Miss. She's on board with Ole Miss.
Okay, she is.
But I go, we got to go to Maui. I mean, we have to. She goes, well, it's too expensive. And I'm not a big fan of Hawaii. I'd rather go to Mexico because it's cheaper and the flight's shorter. Right. But on this one, if I have to pay, I don't know, $400 a night for 4 or 5 nights when I'm there, okay. Or maybe I'm dreaming. Maybe it's $700 a night there now. I don't know. But I want to watch the Cougars in the Maui Classic.
I'm with you. Yeah, that seems like, and I don't know, they must have a real weak field. I'm not sure how we snuck into the Maui Classic, but hey, good for us. I don't know if we have anybody.
I think the field is weaker.
Yeah,
if we're in it, then you can say, yeah, it is.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, the Ole Miss one, I'm going to go because it's the Grove.
The Grove, the legendary Grove. We're going to drive from Bend. We're going to go back there, and if I can talk her into it, go to Virginia the next week.
You're going to drive?
Yeah, that's what retired people do. Yeah, you just drive all over hell. You get a Sprinter van, rent something, whatever.
Are you going to rent something? Or are you going to drive the? Or you're not
We're going to
driving
take the dogs too. I'm picturing the dogs. I'll have them on leashes there at the Grove. But yeah, be fun. And I think we have a shot. I think we have a shot of beating Ole Miss.
Okay, I don't know anything about Ole Miss.
I do know this. I'm going to take the Cougs and the points in that game.
Okay. Well, you take the Cougs and the points in every game. So it doesn't really, you can insert team and then you say, I'm going to take the points against them. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry.
I don't know what to, no, it's fine. I don't know what to expect. I talked to Canzano about this week about what to expect, year 2 with Fish and then year 1 with Jimmy Rogers. I have no idea. I have zero clue. I don't know because I'm very intrigued to see how he translates up, from that level to this level of football. It always feels to me like it really works or it really doesn't. Like these guys that make this jump, like it's a home run right away and like you can see the difference, or that you're like, it's too big of a jump for these guys. All the guys that he brought up with him aren't good enough for this level. We'll see. And just the change in the mentality of the team, right? Because they're going to a real different look, especially offensively. Now, some of it will maybe look a little similar, but they are really trying to change the mindset, of their team. I mean, they were a very run first physical football team. And we've never been that ever. I mean, maybe with Price and those guys, when Leaf, they were physical around the football, but they threw it around. We've always been the team that throws it around all over the field.
Well, I love the idea of that, and I'm hoping it works out, of course. But what if we can't run the ball, and what if we get out physical because we're out talented on the front? So that's what worries me. Like I got to admit, I picture myself watching that first game and that first handoff, and we just get smacked in the backfield. Like loss of 3.
Second down and 13.
Yeah. So then what? I mean, what if you can't run the ball when you're trying to run the ball? Then what?
Give up on it right away. Just start airing the football out.
And you just hope that we cover the spread and don't lose by 30.
Well, there's always that. Jim.
I mean, you were over there. You talked to him. He's a no-nonsense coach, so it's all football.
Oh, it is all football. It is 100% all the time football. I mean, even when the camera stops, there's just no joking around. He's all business. So
yeah,
he's very different than all the coaches we've had. Hey, can we give it a J.P. Crawford appreciation? Little 5 minutes here. Appreciation on J.P. Crawford. You see what this guy's done his last 17 ball games? Guy's hitting 368, OPS of 971. J.P. Crawford. Unbelievable.
Okay, so what do you do with him? I mean, do you keep him where he is now? I mean, he's got to be the number 9 guy though the rest of the season, doesn't he? At some point, or what do you do with him? I'm still not sold on him being able to do it for the whole year, but I mean, he's certainly. You know what, Puckett? You and I were both thinking that his best days were behind him, and that he had one good season, and that it was more likely that he wasn't going to be that good this year. But I guess he's proven us wrong, just like Polanco has. And so, yeah, I don't know. But you're right, and he's played well out at shortstop too. All those WAR numbers, the alphabet stuff. He doesn't project as being the greatest shortstop in the world, but to people with 2 eyes, he looks like he's doing pretty well out there.
He's doing great. And I've just looked even further. You just got to go really, it was only the first 5 games of the year that he didn't hit well. That's it.
Just 5?
And
longer than that, wasn't it?
No. It was only the first 5 games of the season that he didn't hit. And from that moment on, from game 6 on, he has 320, 433, 440, 873.
So is it due to Edgar and Seitzer, or is it like Driveline a year later? Or
well, Divish and I talk a lot about this, and he keeps teasing me. I guess Adam Jude for the Seattle Times has a story coming out on this soon about him. And I think it's more about whatever influence from Kevin Seitzer and Edgar Martinez is. I think the heart of the story is going to be that J.P. Crawford is going up there at the plate with just a clear mind. All the stuff that he's worked on in the offseason, it stays in the offseason, and now he's just going up and he's hitting. And he's not – it seems like to me that he's just not thinking as much. And maybe that goes back to Edgar and Seitzer. None of us are in those hitting meetings, so I don't know what they're discussing. But it just seems like they have really hammered home to those guys, and especially maybe JP, a simpler, easier approach. Get rid of everything else going inside, between your ears, and just go up and hit. And he has responded, and good for him. I hope he keeps it up because, I agree with you. I didn't know what he was ever going to become. Was the 1 year which he popped an anomaly, and then they gave him a decent sized contract, and since then he hadn't delivered. And I think you wore a lot of that personally last year because of where they missed the playoffs by 1 game, and he was he had a poor season, and I think he took a lot of blame for that. He considers himself, and he is one of the team leaders along with Cal and Julio. But I think he wears the Mariners across the chest very proudly. And I think he was embarrassed how last year went, and he has responded this year in an unbelievable fashion. And he started off by doing it by batting ninth and now batting leadoff. When Robles does come back, I think it's an interesting, conversation that they will have to have. I don't know if you can go wrong, because if you move him down to 9 where he was originally and he continues to do that, I mean, their 7 through 9 hitters have been fantastic this year. I mean, their on base percentage of those guys is what? I wrote it down. Now I can't find it. But it's there it is. Almost 340, 338 of those guys. I mean, that is remarkable to get those guys to have that type of on base percentage to turn it back around at the top of the lineup. So if he stays down there, great. If not, and they move him, they keep him at the leadoff, then Robles is down there. And I think Robles can be fine. I think you're in a win-win situation either way you go.
No, you look at earlier in the season when you looked at 6, 7, 8, 9, you could even go 5 through 9 and go, God, those guys suck. I mean, you didn't expect that from them. You would have taken average contributions from that part of the lineup.
Of course.
And what you're getting from them is just, it's been incredible. And, the other thing I thought about, some people make a big deal out of it. I don't know how much of it plays into it, but he became a father too, JP, and maybe things aren't, baseball all the time, baseball. Yeah. And then after you have a kid, things change a little bit. And you find out that baseball is not the only thing in my life. There are other more important things. And the other thing, this is insight you won't get anywhere else. And I kind of specialize in that. The other day when I was at Palouse Ridge, I played pretty terribly on the front 9 because I was thinking all the time about full shoulder turn, getting through the ball, hitting it to right center field, all these different things through my head when I was up there, trying to hit the ball. The 10th tee, I just said, screw it, man. I'm just going to swing. I'm just going to swing harder and take the results. And I didn't think about anything, and I played a lot better. Now, that's my way of saying that J.P. Crawford, when he gets in that batter's box, I think you're right. He was probably cluttered with all this drive line stuff, launch angle stuff. And J.P. for a while wanted to be a power hitter. He was trying to, swing for the fences, all that. So I think the correlation is there from what I was doing on the back 9 at Palouse Ridge to what J.P. Crawford is doing for the Mariners right now. And I'll take some credit for that.
I'm going to pass that along to Tim Booth, who's with the team right now, and see if
give it to Alex Mayer. That's some sort of remote thing that he could throw out there.
Okay, we'll give it to both Alex Mayer and Tim Booth. Yeah. Maybe we'll have Booth bring that up, or even actually strike that. We'll give it to Jude. Maybe Jude can do a follow-up. If he's got this piece coming out on Crawford, a follow-up, and then insert you, Jim Moore, the go-to guy. And he said, fuck it, after the first 9 at Palouse Ridge, just started swinging free and easy on the back 9.
Oh, God, that drive at 10, I just mashed it. I mean, it was beautiful. That downhill, looking out over the Palouse, it was beautiful.
That's hold on. Okay, is that the downhill? Hold on. Is that the downhill par 4 where you can drive it?
Par 5. Yeah.
Is it par 5?
Heading east toward Moscow. Yeah. It's a par 5. Okay. Anyway, no, I'm mocking myself, but I mean, I think we can all relate to that in golf or whatever. I mean, if you free your mind, good things can happen. But boy, it's hard to do when, you hit a bad shot and you start thinking about what you need to be doing differently. But good for JP, because I wasn't a JP believer, but I am now. I mean, he's always been a fan favorite. And now rightly so, because of what he's done. I mean, he's really reestablished himself as one of the game's better shortstops.
Yeah, he's just and I just think for the way that he has struggled the last few years, and then for him to, at least so far, just look like a much different player at the plate. Much different player. And again, I think I don't know how much credit goes to those two guys, but there's got to be some credit and a lot of credit. Whatever they are teaching these guys, or at least, and I don't think they're teaching them anything new. I don't think there's some like magic thing they've got with the swing. I do think it's probably just trying to get them to remember that this game is already probably the hardest game in the world, because you're trying to hit stuff that is moving so fast and breaking crazy. Just get up there and, like you did in Little League, just, hey, have fun, swing the bat.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. Strikeouts have always really bothered me. Even, when you were a player yourself, when you struck out, you felt like that was the ultimate failure when you went back to the dugout.
At least make contact.
God, you put I know everybody's saying, put the ball in play. Things can happen. You never know. I saw a replay, the screaming show, one of them had a replay from a White Sox game. It was a pop up to the second baseman. It was a routine play, and the guy missed it. It hit his head. You never know. But when you strike out and the ball's not in play, none of that shit can happen.
Of course, you don't know what's going to happen.
Even, look at Ben Williamson the other day. He had 2 hits that were, I heard, they were 66 miles an hour and 69, the exit vote. So, yeah, you just never know as long as you can. I mean, just the Texas Leaguer, the little blooper, the seeing eye single. I always like that one. I never hear that anymore. The seeing eye single.
Can you explain that to me, the seeing eye single?
Well, that's when somehow the ball just finds its way between the first and second baseman, just barely. Like the first baseman's ranging to his right, second baseman's ranging hard to his left, and still somehow gets through there.
I want to know how they came up with that. Like whoever coined that phrase.
Or Texas Leaguer, you don't hear that anymore. That's like a bloop single.
Yeah.
But there must have been a lot of bloop singles in the Texas League back in the day.
Yeah. It's all good. All the verbiage is wonderful.
No, and this is really a fun brand of baseball that old school people like. Maybe I know I am. I don't know about you so much, but it's fun to watch too. It's no fun to watch a strikeout. I mean, I know it's fun when Kirby's throwing them and Gilbert and all that, but
that's why that guy.
These kind of games are more fun. I like pitching duels. I do. Yeah. But I like 7 to 6 games more.
Well, but I also do like, and it's weird, I like a pitching duel, but I also like a pitching duel sometimes when it's not just all about strikeouts. That I like a pitching duel when the ball's put in play and the defense is making plays. Yeah.
Well, look at a guy like Hancock. I mean, he's doing well, and he's not a strikeout pitcher.
No. Pitches the contact.
That's a guy. J.P. appreciation. I see that you don't have Hancock appreciation in your lineup there, but there's a guy I'm really happy for right now because I thought it was bullshit when they sent him down after that first outing he had.
And you said it right away.
It was just like, what are you doing? That can't help that kid's confidence. Just like, oh, you know what? Gave up 6 runs to the Tigers. Yeah, they kind of had some balls that weren't hit that well, but. Yeah, that wasn't good. So back to the Rainiers for you. And so I'm happy to see that he's doing well. I heard today on one of the shows I was listening to, might have been Chuck and Buck. They had a piece of information that was actually interesting this morning.
That's good. Let's promote them. That's good.
You always enjoy it when I bring that up.
Hold on, I got a timestamp when to take this out of the show. Hold on. 49.
They have won.
49-20.
According to Chuck Powell.
Take out
Emerson Hancock, the last 4 starts.
About old station.
Listen, I'm going to say something interesting.
Yes.
That Chuck said. The last 4 times that Hancock has started, the Mariners have won the game. Okay, so that's all.
First of all, it's in the game notes. You don't need someone to tell you that. Read the game notes. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I wasn't aware of it. Good
Lord.
Okay, I'm happy.
Hold on, time out. God bless everyone. It's not like he came up with some great stat like no one else came up with. It's in the game notes.
Well, I'm okay. You know what's not in the game notes? I am happy for Emerson Hancock.
Okay, good. You know what? I mean, here's something I'm going to blow you away here. I'm about to tell you. You can only get it here at Puck Sports. Since his first start, he's got an ERA of 3.52. No, please reference that anywhere next shows you go on to.
Okay. Hey, maybe Mark James will use that. Maybe he'll use that tomorrow.
I'm going to mark this 50-37.
Is that his name, the guy that replaced us?
Yeah, you know what Mark his name James? Is. You know what his name is. Don't play the is that his name?
No, I'm kind of I think that's right.
You know it's right. Don't play that game that you don't know what his name is. You know what his name is. Can I give you a? For him
personally, I hope he does well. But for me, I hope he doesn't. Okay.
Because
I'm that bitter.
Well, of course
I'm that bitter, man. You don't want the guy who replaces you to do well. Anyway, okay. Where are you going now?
I was going to give you the Gary Hill stat.
Okay.
Would you like to hear the Gary Hill stat?
I love Gary Hill too. I'm loving everybody today.
Gary, well, yeah, you are. Gary Hill, he tweeted this out. So they're 18-7 over the last month, are the Mariners. Check out these numbers. They lead baseball. They're number 1 in runs, number 1 in home runs, number 2 in on base, number 2 in walk percentage, number 3 in slugging, and your favorite, number 2 in barrel rate percentage.
Somebody actually is monitoring that. And how do they know?
There's a stat. It's on Baseball Savant.
How do they know when it's on the barrel?
They've got numbers and stats, and they've got video. I don't know. Analytics, man.
Okay, so you were mocking me. Like, you can mock Gary Hill right now if you want, but I know he's your buddy and he's a.
Why am I mocking Gary Hill?
Because he could have got all that shit in the game notes too.
He didn't get that in the game notes because I read the game notes. He came up with that on his own.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, you can also just look at Hancock's baseball reference page. It says it right there.
Okay. All right, good enough.
All right.
All right. We like Gary Hill, though. Gary Hill's doing a great job. We talked about him on Monday.
I know.
And you talked about it in the sports pit. I mean, he's gonna be the number 1 guy someday when Riz retires.
We gotta stop just rubbing him off. Jesus.
Why? He's good.
He's gonna have to start paying us for all this.
I think they're all good. I think they all do a great job. I mean, Dave Valley, he's okay, but I still miss Kruger. Hey, Bill Kruger should be on that. He should be on Root Sports. That's
I think I can announce it. I think Kruger's coming back on with us.
Is he?
Yeah. He's taking some time off, but I think I can announce that he's coming back on.
God, that's awesome. I tried contacting him. You gave me his number, and he didn't get back to me. I was going to write a story about him. Oh. He's the best. He's the best because he doesn't bullshit anybody. I mean, he doesn't sugarcoat stuff like the rest of them.
He's going to. I think he wanted to take some time off, so we gave him kind of some room. But I think he's coming back on. I will say this about their broadcast. Did you? Because somebody just mentioned it in the chat. Ed, I'm going to bring that up. Did you watch the game the other day when Wilson he walked the 2 guys to get to Wilson, to Jacob Wilson?
Yeah,
I
was watching.
Did you see the post? Did you see the after that decision?
Well, I remember hearing that. Goldsmith was all over
Jesus. How much would you bet? Because I would bet a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money that Aaron Goldsmith got talked to after that game.
Closed door meeting.
Guaranteed. There is no doubt in my mind he heard from somebody. Maybe it's not quite closed door, but there was remember how Randy Adamek used to talk to you? Randy Adamek, for those who don't know, longtime Mariners PR, director of all things communication, nicest guy in the world, been with the organization for a gazillion years. But anytime that he heard something or somebody wrote something that he didn't like, he'd be like, hey, Jim, saw that article. Give me a call. Just want to clear up a few things with you, but and just maybe give you a different perspective. But he'd do it in the nicest way, the absolute nicest way. So I can envision, and I don't know who that would be now. Maybe it's Martinez, Kevin Martinez. That Goldsmith got like a call. Hey, heard the end of the broadcast. Just want to touch base real quick when you got a moment.
Yeah, I think probably Aaron might have crossed the line the other night, but it was justified to do that. And you're right. I mean, you bring up Randy Adamek, and he's such a class act. I'll never forget when he called me after the Mariners' wives came out with a cookbook, and I wrote a column about it, kind of rating how the wives looked, their looks. And so it was very politically incorrect and inappropriate. I admit that. And
who did you have the best?
He heard from Karen Moyer, Jamie's wife, and she was unhappy with, the way I'd written that story. And looking back on it, I don't blame him, and I don't blame Randy for giving me a call. But Joelle Pinero's wife was a 10, okay? She was – you remember Joelle Pinheiro?
Yeah, of course I remember Joelle Pinheiro, but I don't remember his wife. But, actually, I do. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm just Googling right now.
No, if you can get a copy of that cookbook and take a look at Pinero's wife, I think you'd agree with me. But Randy was kind of sheepish about it. He was like going, yeah, Jamie's wife called me, and Jim, she wasn't happy with it.
I gotta find this article. What do you remember? What Mariner's Wives Cookbook?
Yeah, I wrote something about it. I wasn't really checking out the recipes. Yeah.
Hold on. Now you've got me down this rabbit hole. I know you got to go. Hold on, Jim Moore.
I don't know if you'll find it or not.
Oh, here we go. I think I found it. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. Trying to fill Bill with sports queries. Did you hold on?
But no, Randy, he handles that in the most professional way rather than coming at you like Dave Pearson would. I mean, Dave Pearson would be coming at you like you were the dumbest ass in the world, but Randy, unlike Pearson, Randy's a class act.
I can't. Hold on. Mariners getting some hacks for charity. Oh, here we go. I think I found it. Is it from 2005?
Maybe. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably said some things in there that I wouldn't get away with 20 years later.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm just skimming this right now. I don't know if I found the one where you're talking about the cookbook specifically. Hold on, but now all I can think about is this cookbook story where you wrote the article. Where is it? Come on, man.
God, and Karen Moyer. I mean, God bless the Moyers and everything they've done, but she was
not happy at all. She
was interesting. And Jamie, I don't know. You remember Jamie? He was always kind of a weird guy to go up to after a game.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. He's kind of prickly.
He could always be. Well, of course, we joke all the time with. Sandmeyer and I, we always joke about this. He would always do that after especially when he didn't pitch well. And like, hey, somebody would ask, hey, what happened in the third inning? He would just stare at you.
I don't know. You tell me.
You tell me what happened in the third inning. I don't know, man. Just trying
to ask. It's kind of funny,
when people ask a couple questions and get on out of here, please.
Yeah, people just watch that, and they go, God, what a dumb question that reporter asked that athlete. Yeah. It's not that easy sometimes. I mean, you're trying to get the athlete to talk, but when they don't play well that night, I don't miss that. I don't miss going up to those cubicles at all. Yeah.
I'm still searching.
Well,
Can you find the story and send it to me, please?
Yeah, I will.
Because I want to read it. I want to read it on Friday. So you're not here Friday? Correct?
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up on the air, but yeah, I'm going to be driving up to Seattle. Okay, now you're going to feel bad for ripping me. I'm driving up to Seattle.
I'm not ripping you at all.
I can spend Mother's Day with my 95-year-old mom, okay?
Wonderful. Good for you.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. So I'm coming up, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to being back in Seattle. I miss all the brake lights, and so I want to make sure I see those.
Well, just wait for the brake lights and more construction. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it'll be great. But
hey, 7 days from now, a week from today, we'll have a 16-year-old in the house.
No way.
Did you go big for Brooke for her 16th birthday?
Yeah, I think
like over the top.
Well, 16 is a big one.
I know, but
16,
are we supposed to do something crazy or just normal?
Well, yeah. Have a special party for 16. 16's big.
I know, but just friends, or we take the friends out to dinner. What do we do?
Yeah, do it all. 16 might be the biggest one. I mean, that's kind of a cool age. She can drive on her own.
What do you recall what you did for your daughter's 16th birthday?
God, I can't. No, that was Brooke's going to be 34 on Monday, so yeah, 18 years ago.
Yeah. Ask her when you see her this weekend, okay?
Okay. Isn't that weird though as a parent when your kid's 16?
Oh yeah, I don't like it.
No. Because 16 really is an age where they can start going out with boys if they want to, even if you don't like it.
Do what I just don't like
14 and 15, that's kind of a little young to be going out with boys. But
it's not 16, I don't like the driving part. It's the driving part that I don't like.
Yeah. And what is she, a freshman?
Sophomore.
She's a sophomore in high school?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just make her feel special. Yeah.
Do that every day.
Yeah.
Do that every day.
Okay.
All right. Enjoy Mother's Day. We'll see you on Monday.
Okay. Here comes the golf guy. Here comes the putting green guy. He's driving in the driveway right now.
Tell me what it is. It won't even be close to $3,000.
Alpha Turf Northwest.
Okay.
All right. Okay. See you, Puck. Go Cougs.
There he is. Go Cougs. There he is. Jim Moore with us Monday, Wednesdays, and again, like I said, sometimes Fridays. All brought to you by A Clean Streak, professional window and exterior cleaning services. Hey, send me a note in the chat or on an email. I don't care, puck@pucksports.com. If you had a daughter or son, whatever, well, not specifically daughter, 16th birthday, did you go all out? Like, what'd you do? I need to know. I need some advice on how big or not big to go. All right, every Wednesday we catch up with Ryan Divish, our MLB Insider, of course, taking a sabbatical from covering the team full-time. He's in Havre, Montana, where he's coaching the Havre North Stars, his stepson's baseball team. He's also moonlighting as a furniture salesman at Valley Furniture there in Havre, Montana. Every week we catch up with him, and we give you a portion of the show here free during the Daily Puck Drop. The full show, by the way, is available for Puck's Posse members. Go to pucksports.com or click on that QR code on your screen. You can get the full show if you sign up today. Join, just $5 a month. As I always say, you get a discount if you sign up for a year there as well. And it supports everything we do here with the Daily Puck Drop and Puck Sports. So here it is, Ryan Divish, our MLB Insider, talking about the red hot? How about red hot Los Marineros?
Horseshoe that's crammed up the Mariners' ass on Saturday night a little bit for some of the wins that they have pulled off lately. It's absurd.
They're doing it's we talked about this before. It's kind of a head scratcher. You kind of shake your head at it, but they just keep winning. They're just find ways to win. It's the old right at Notre Dame's got it on there. I think a lot of teams got it as they touch it as they go out to the field. Find a way to win. They just do. They've found new interesting ways to win, and they deliver. I mean, I felt that this would happen on the game when they won on Tuesday, just because the guy that's coming up, the guy, every time he steps to the plate in Cal Raleigh and they've got a chance to take a lead or he's got a chance to win the game, I'm like, he's just going to deliver. Just has that, I don't know, what do you call it, that it factor? Just has it.
Yeah, he doesn't get sped up too often, and you're pretty surprised. Like, even when he makes an out, the at-bat is usually very competitive. Like the other night when he struck out against Mason Miller but fouled off all them pitches and really pushed Mason Miller into a territory that he didn't want to be in. I mean, that's the ideal aspect of it all. But, you look at some of the plate appearances the other night, like Julio drawing the walk. I thought Julio had a really good game. Honestly, I thought he played really well. That homer to center is freaking absurd, and then, I mean, maybe don't bunt sometimes, but like with Randy, but it's.
What was the Polanco?
Called.
Which one? The Polanco bunt or the Randy bunt?
Yeah, one of I can't remember.
The Polanco. I didn't understand.
I don't even
the Polanco
know if some of those
one.
are called.
Yeah,
like, they don't call a lot of bunts. Like players kind of do some of that stuff on their own. It was like earlier this year when Polanco had that goofy 2-out bunt to the left side or whatever after he had a couple hits.
Yeah.
And you're like, ask Dan. He's like, no, we didn't call that.
Yeah.
Like
I don't need to see him. I don't need to see him bunt.
We talked about this before, I think, on here, or maybe it was on the podcast I used to do for the Times. But like a lot of times with like stolen bases and bunts and stuff, that's not called from the dugout. Those are player reads. Like we talked about with Dylan Moore and Julio. They're just green. Green means go. You can go when you want, get a read, go. With somebody and even Cal has the read on certain pitchers. Now, there are times where they may call it because you're trying to avoid a double play or something like that. But for the most part, stuff like that, the strategy, because we're not seeing a bunch of hit and runs and stuff like that. It's not this isn't Harry high school baseball where you're trying to force the action. They trust their players to make the proper decisions to create the action. I have given our players that freedom, and at one point, Tyson, I'm looking in our first game, and I was just waiting. It's like waiting for him to go, and he kind of looks at me, and I just go, like, "Are you going to go or not?" Basically, and so, but no, I like some of the stuff they do. I mean, like whatever, it's working. You bank the wins, and you get them as many as you can, because there's going to be a lull where all the luck and all the stuff that isn't going to go right, or
Sure.
Cal might get into a slump or something, but. So win the games you can, steal the games you can win, and go from there. I mean, I think the A's are pretty good. The A's had just a little bit better pitching.
I like the A's a lot. I think that's that's the team that's gonna, like, at the end of the year. Those are the two teams that are gonna be going at it.
And I mean, like, the one thing is like you can tell the A's are not afraid of the Mariners pitching, especially their bullpen. Other than Munoz, who gives them a little bit of fits. Even then, the other night wasn't good, but like they just grind it out. And even like Rooker, who's the one guy who strikes out a little bit against the Mariners, he puts the ball in play and gets a lot of quality contact.
They swing, they're aggressive. I mean, that Jack Wilson guy is just a
Jacob Wilson.
Or Jacob Wilson. What did I call him?
I was listening to you the other day. I was like,
did I call him
every
Jack
time
Wilson?
you say Jack, you're gonna have to. I was wondering how many people were texting you or messaging you, and then
I always
just drink every time.
It's I know
like
it is.
Oakland A's.
You know what? Good call. Yeah. Drink every time. Put $1 in the kitty. Yeah, Jacob Wilson. He is, he's a pest.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good player. And they're a solid team. They don't have a ton of depth, like quality depth, but I mean, they kind of just, they know how they want to play, and they go out and play that way. They're going to be, a lot of those guys are locked up for a while, so they're going to be pretty salty. They got some guys
First
coming.
First baseman's good. Yeah, they got young talent. They're a good, scrappy little ball club. It's been a good series, and we'll see if they can get it today. They win. If they win on Wednesday, they'll be as we record this, their 9th straight series win. And yeah, they just I think their ability to withstand all these injuries and moving parts has been really impressive for them.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing is too is like, I think the way they're kind of how they play now with some of these players, it's a more efficient way. Like we talked about Rivas and his defense, having him out there has cleaned up a lot. I mean, think about some of the runs he has saved in the last few games, and then, having a way that they want to play Polanco now that he's a little more healthy, can play more, but you have an identity of how you want to play these guys, when you want to play Cal, which was basically every day. But I think they've been pretty solid that way. And by kind of the nature of who they brought up, the strikeouts have decreased just because those are the close players don't strike out quite as much. They're a little bit more contact oriented. So I think it's been pretty interesting. And then, you get Brash back, and last night wasn't as crisp. I think he throws that changeup. I know he likes it like it's a new toy. I don't think he should throw it quite as much as he throws. It's got a ton of movement, and it's a really good pitch. But man,
is that the one that hit
Urias?
Yeah.
No, that was a 97 mile per hour fastball that put his life.
That's right.
But no, I mean, like the bullpen pieces are starting to come back a little bit, and if George Kirby comes back here in a week or so, I mean, like they're rolling pretty well. Do you think that when they bring George back, they put Bryce on the IL and let him rest for 2 weeks?
We've talked about it a lot on here. He just does. There's something wrong with him. I don't know. I mean, he just doesn't look healthy. He doesn't look comfortable. The velocity, all of it. I mean, we keep talking about kind of the same storyline with him after every start. Yeah, I mean, I just thought I think that's always been the kind of my thought that he's going to spend some time on the IL. Whether it's maybe he's injured, or there's something leading to it that's going to cause something bigger down the road, or maybe just needs a break.
Yeah, I mean, like we joked about it, but the Gilmesh dead arm that he used to get, and I would take an IL stint to clean it up, rest. One thing too, maybe is like, and he's got pretty simple delivery, but if there are times like if your mechanics are off and your timing on your delivery is off, that can sap 2 to 3 miles per hour off your velocity, and leave you and kind of rob you of your command because it's difficult to repeat it. And there's some mistake in there that you keep repeating that doesn't allow you to get to where you're supposed to be to throw. And I mean, I'm sure they're looking at that, but he just isn't able to execute pitches when he needs to. And, he's really hittable. He's not getting strikeouts. I mean, think about this. If he didn't have that off-speed stuff, all those off-speed pitches that he added, I mean, he'd be really cooked because the fastball's been really hittable when he throws it in the strike zone.
Yeah.
And even when he tries to hump it up on a fastball and get a blow-by on a four-seam, it's only getting to 95. Whereas before, if he really wanted to reach back and throw one top of the zone, it'd be 96 to 97, even 98 at times.
Well, going back to the hitters for a second, going back to the strikeouts. They're now in the middle of the pack in baseball. They're like 13th or 14th in terms of their strikeout percentage. How much credit do we give Seitzer? Do we give Edgar? Is it the players? What has led to this turnaround for them? Because that has been a huge difference from where it was a year ago. Huge difference where it was the last few years in terms of their strikeouts when they're in the high, mid 20s. Now they're at, they've lowered that. So they're in the middle pack of baseball. Their walk rate is through the roof. They're number one on base percentage and all that. So I know the simple answer is probably the combination of both, but I'm just curious what they've been able to do to cut down on that stuff for them.
Well, I think you mentioned it. The walk rate is a big reason how you cut down on the strikeouts. If you walk more, and it means you're seeing better pitches and you're having more discipline within the strike zone. I think, also when you're rolling well and your offense is producing, you don't feel like you have to go out of the strike zone to do something. But, you watch Randy or Julio, they are having different sort of at-bats than they were last year. With Polanco, he's healthier. He doesn't feel like he's out on one leg kind of reaching. So those are three of your main guys that are seeing a ton of plate appearances. Well, if they don't strike out as much and they walk more, that helps. You have Rivas in there he's going to try and put the ball in play early. He's not, and even like somebody like Dylan Moore, when you're using him properly, it helps cut down on the strikeouts. It's when you have to put him against a bunch of good right-handed pitchers where, that's a problem. They're going to strike out some. Cal's going to strike out some. But I think overall, the walk rate as a team and the walk rate for a lot of the key players going up helps limit the strikeouts. Because usually that means you're in better counts and you're swinging at better pitches to put the ball in play more to lead to quality contact or just, less swings and misses.
Last 15 games for Julio, including that big night that he had on Tuesday, the 3-hit night with the solo shot there to center field. 274, is on base 348, slugging 468, OPS at 816, 3 home runs. He's driven in 9, drawn 6 walks, he struck out 10. What the one thing that you can look at with him? I did this exercise with Jim Duquette this week. Is that if you look at his numbers, and again going back to the strikeouts and the walks, both areas that are market improvement from a year ago, just in terms of what he's been able to do. He has gotten better in both of those categories. And Jim was saying, I'm sure you would agree, that maybe the other stuff, the results of the hitting and the power hasn't come, but he has at least looked at those two stats and said, well, if those are getting better, then ultimately just to piggyback on what you said, it's going to allow him to get deeper into counts and see more pitches and then thus be able to hit for more power here eventually. And then we saw that on full display on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. His chase rate is still up. I mean, he's still swinging at pitches out of zone. When he gets to 0-2, it's still a little bit. But I thought he's been better at battling with 2 strikes than maybe he was last year, a year or two ago. Still hits the ball hard, but I even think about the results. Like, the other night, it wasn't last night, but the night before, he hit 2 balls to right center that all the way to the track that were hit really hard. I mean, checking out his hard hit rate, the batting average and balls in play. Like, I was joking with some of my buddies that Ben Williamson, his middle name should be Babbitt because of all the little bleeders and stuff that have been falling and stuff like that.
He gets it done.
Yeah, but that's what I mean is like it works in a couple different ways. Like Julio, I can think of 4 or 5 balls where Julio's hit them very extremely hard and they've been caught, made by solid plays. I mean, so you take 5 balls that he's hit hard. I think several of them come with runners on base. If those balls are down for doubles, then you're talking about a very different thing. I mean, I think because of who he is, what is expected, what he's making, we're quick to find the criticisms in him, and I mean, like, he brings it on himself because he is out there on social media and everything else. So we're quicker, I think, to find the faults than we are with the positives. But I mean, like, this version of Julio is pretty good, and it's going to get better as they go. I think just continuing to be where he's at. You got to remember, like, he had to make some serious overhauls to his approach, his swing, his mentality, all in the last 40 games of last season. I mean, that's still carrying over into this season. And I think just continuing to follow this path is going to be a pretty good thing. We're seeing, I mean, like, when he hits a ball to center as hard as he does, I mean, that's a good thing. When he's cooking balls there, that means, that, like, when he yanked the hanger, that means, like, you're hitting the ball to center on the fastball, you get the hanger, jump on it, yank it down the line. Like, I think he's just in a better spot hitting wise. And I think he has a better hitting identity than he did a year ago.
Yeah.
There's going to be lulls and everything else, but we haven't even seen him truly, truly get hot. But I mean, you look at this first month and a half, or the first month and a half, you'll take that over what we've seen from him in the last month and a year ago, 2 years ago. I mean, those were super tepid and really bad. So, and I think the one thing is too, with Cal doing what he's doing, with Randy being better, Polanco being better, he doesn't feel the burden sometimes of having to produce. I mean, JP, we haven't even talked about JP. Like, that guy is as locked in with his swing. Like, that ball he hit last night off the left, he just scalded it to center. You're like, okay, like, this is the guy you thought. I mean,
right.
We're not seeing maybe the power, but this is who JP Crawford is. And I know Adam's working on a story on this, but JP just kind of got back to a different mindset of going up there and competing. Like, at the end of the day, and we talked about this before, you can't worry about your swing, your stance, your setup, all that stuff when you're in the box. All you're doing now is having the approach of trying to hit the ball hard up the middle, looking for stuff like usually up or out over the plate, and go back to that. And I think that's what JP is starting to get back to. I think when stuff went wrong last year, he got caught up in the idea of his drive line mindset, that's off-season work. That's how you build your swing and how you do that, and you maintain it pregame. But once you get in the game, you can't do that. And I do think JP was banged up, and I think he got caught up by the results. I mean, nobody wants to put up bad numbers. Doesn't matter how much you guys make. I mean, how much these guys make. Well, I guess you're Anthony Rendon. You don't really care, but
there's pressure to that though. Money equals pressure, and I think that
when there's a pride factor, like, these guys have all been the best player on their teams growing up. They don't want to suck at the big league level. They worked their entire lives to get to the big leagues. They don't want to be terrible.
Well, and he had such a poor year, and then you look at they missed the postseason by a game. Was it a game last year?
Yeah, I mean, nobody takes that more personally than he does.
Of course, and he wears it. I think that he has wanted to carry the mantle of the team leader, right? That was probably bestowed upon him from Kyle Seager. So I think he takes great pride in being one of the leaders of the baseball team, along with others. Him and Cal, and certainly Julio to a degree. And so I think that how he performed last year, I think he's heard outside noise. I think they all hear the outside noise about him, and wondering if the year that he, had a few seasons ago was just kind of a one-hit wonder. We've talked about that. What is he going to be? Is he going to be more that guy or the guy that he really has been his entire career? So I think you go back to what you said earlier. It's a lot of pride with him, and I think that it's showing this year. I mean, he's just off to. I mean, first of all, he didn't get off to the great start, and then he has just been on a tear. I mean, he's up to 292 now. He's almost slugging 400. His OPS at 814. He's on bases at 416.
416 on base, which still, I love the Duquette stat that no player has an on base as high as Aaron Judge's.
Unbelievable. That just tells you, the
insane
year that Judge is having.
I think this is why, like, I think Julio's had some early successes because others are having success. He doesn't need to carry, I mean, like, it's a different look because, Robles is in there, but you like the first five guys in their lineup a lot. It's just when it gets after the first five guys, you're like, okay, well, this is a little bit of duct tape and
can someone just get hit? But look at the I looked this up today, and God, every time I look this stat up, and then one of these putzes that covers the team now has got it in their story. So then I'm like, why did I do any of the work? And I think it was Tim Booth who's filling in for you, along with Jude. Tim's on the road trip. Boy, he drew the great card to go to West Sacramento. I mean, look at their 7 through 9 hitters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these guys are hitting 251 with an on base of almost 340.
Yeah, like to me, and that's one
great.
thing. I'm like, to me, that's one thing. And you see some people on Twitter reference it because it's the easy stat to look at.
What?
And obviously, every old dude that I get from used to get in emails references the batting average. Yeah, batting average is a nice stat, but to me, the most important thing is how much do you get on base?
Yeah,
you're a 7, 8, 9 hitter. How do you get on base? And the outs you do, and like the outs you do make better be productive outs, like contact outs. Don't be striking out a bunch. That was the problem in the past, is just like they struck out too much. They struck out too much with runners in scoring position. And their numbers with runners in scoring position aren't even that great right now. But like, just be productive, be efficient, and get the ball in play, on a above average level, and better things will happen, because they are pretty athletic.
Yeah.
Like they are. They're not. This isn't a team of plotters, other than Rowdy, who looks like your long lost brother. But I mean, like, no, I just think that I think they're just in a better spot. I think if you'd have told me though that like they wouldn't have had Kirby the first month and a half, and Robles would essentially missed the first month and a half, Polanco had been dinged up, I was like, there's no way. I would have said you would have needed guys like JP to have outstanding, be really good during the stretch, and that's what they've gotten.
Big thanks to Ryan Divish again, who joins us every single Wednesday. Love having Divish on, our MLB Insider / Valley Furniture Salesman there in Havre, Montana. Now, if you want to, that's just a portion of the show. There's a full 40 plus minutes of it. So if you want to listen to the entire show, we always give you a little bit of it for free. The entire show for Puck's Posse members, both video and audio, there with Divish. Sign up today to be a Puck's Posse member. Go to pucksports.com. You can also QR code. If you're streaming the show, we'll take you there as well. Any support you can give us, much appreciated. If any financial issues, I've mentioned this all the time, send me an email, puck@pucksports.com, and we'll take care of you. But full Divish interview and podcast every week up at pucksports.com. Sign up there for the Puck's Posse membership page. And again, just $5 a month will take care of you. Plus you sign up and get a year off, or not a year off, but you get a discount when you sign up there for a year. Let's see. Jared says the YouTube link doesn't show up on the Posse site. Jared, it's up there right now, but I'm looking at it. Just if you go to the page, it's right there. I see the video. It's up there right now as we speak. The video, because I posted it, I did a little bit different this time and just posted it up on the Puck's Posse membership page on Patreon. So did not go through YouTube on it. Well, the edited version we'll put up on YouTube, but the full show is just up on the Puck's Posse page. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns like Jared, and we'll get it fixed and remedied for you. All right, let's wrap up the show with Hey, What the Puck, which is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. It is your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, mold damage. They've got with their property restoration services. They are locally owned and operated. Give them a call at 206-817-8917. Ask for Trent. He's going to take care of you, and they are the best in the business. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Talked a little bit about there with Divish and also to a degree with the go-to guy, Jim Moore. Good for J.P. Crawford. And what I mean by that is good for him because he has been challenged and was challenged this offseason to get better. Not so much physically, but, mentally. This is the toughest sport, man. It just is. It is a grind. It's long. It's hard. It is mentally taxing. Last season was extremely disappointing for him. And obviously the team. They missed it by one game, in large part because they didn't have contributions from a guy like J.P. Crawford. He's a team leader. And, you know, as a team leader, he clearly let the team down, and I think he wore that. And that wore on him in the offseason. He spent this offseason trying to improve himself mentally. I thought Jim brought up a good point. Maybe something relaxes you and calms you down when you become a father. It does put things in perspective when you become a father. He has simplified his approach and mindset so far, and it's paid off. I mean, he has been remarkable since the first 5 games when he was not. From game 6 on, incredible. He's exactly the team leader that you need and you want on your team. He wants to lead. And not everybody wants to lead. You know, there's a lot of guys that don't want to lead. He wants to be a leader. He wants to be the guy that people rally to and rally towards, that they huddle around. Takes a special player. It really does to have that type of qualities. But to be a truly great leader on any team, you've got to produce. You have to have production. You know, and recently he has not produced. Yeah, but he is producing this year. He is one of the heartbeats of this baseball team. And for this team to reach their true potential, win the American League West, and then make some noise in the playoffs, J.P. Crawford needs to continue to be the catalyst and leader of this baseball team. And good things will come for this squad. They're off to an incredible start. See if they can win yet another series coming up later today there against the Athletics. All right, that's Hey What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. Your restoration company lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online. Restoration1.com, North Seattle franchise. All right. Big thanks to everybody for watching and listening today. Thank you to all our sponsors: Limback Lumber, Chalet Bowl, Georgetown Brewery. Go check out their new tavern beer at your local bar, georgetownbeer.com. And, of course, as always, with us since day one, Restoration One. Today's Daily Puck Drop, find it up on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. Also find it on your favorite podcast platforms and up at pucksports.com. When you're there at pucksports.com, sign up to be a member of the Pucks Posse. $5 a month. It's all it costs you. Support all the free content and VIP and exclusive shows that we do as well, like our baseball coverage, as I mentioned, with our MLB Insider Ryan Divish. New Sports Pit podcast comes out on Mondays with Steve Sandmeyer, Matt Stretch Johnson. All right. And now we produce the Graz with Gas Take 5 podcast, where you can find on YouTube and all podcast platforms. New episodes out on Mondays. You can find that as well up at pucksports.com. Appreciate all the support everyone gives every single day tuning in. It's not lost on me. It's really cool that so many people listen and watch every single day. Means the world to me and to our family. Appreciate it very much. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Coming up on Thursday, we may have a special. I don't want to say for sure. I don't know yet. But we may have a very special guest on tomorrow's show that I think everybody on here will thoroughly enjoy. So stay tuned for that. We'll talk to you tomorrow. As always, promise me better.
No shoes, no dice.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!